Welcome to World Peak Video, where we give you a real look of life. We are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. Today we dealing with justice for Jennifer Jeffley, or Jennifer Jeffley equals justice for us all. In previous podcasts, I explained how this case is a slap in the face to all humanity. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't even be. But had Jennifer Jeffley been a 15-year-old white female, she would not have done a day in jail. Let me explain to you all what I mean. Miss Palomino was murdered in her apartment. Jennifer Jeffley was on the phone, wasn't even at the location. One Eva Moondragon gave Jennifer Jeffley, a 15-year-old, mind you, Eva Moondragon was 24 at the time. What's the difference between a 24-year-old mind and a 15-year-old mind? Just imagine when you were 15 and imagine when you were 24. Imagine the way you thought at 15 versus the way you thought at the age of 24, and you can come up with that conclusion. Now, the police drags a 15-year-old girl, and it's ridiculous, to investigate and to interrogate her. Now you have grown men playing good cop, bad cop with a 15-year-old. Then they have her sign a confession, which was against the law, because she didn't have legal counsel present or a legal guardian present. Her mom, her grandmother, was not present at the time of signing of said confession. Now, this is for you soon-to-be lawyers who are studying currently to become an attorney. You know that you can't, as a child, you can't do anything without a permission slip, without permission from a guardian, permission from your parents. What do they call it in law? What is that term they use? Power of attorney. You can't do anything. Because why? When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I thought as a child. Because why? You're 15. You're a child. You still believe in magic at that age. I mean, your worldview will be totally different once you become an adult. But it shows you not only injustice, but I want to intertwine race into the conversation, right? There is no way a 15-year-old white girl would have even been interrogated. Matter of fact, the police would have waited till a parent's there or a lawyer or whatever. Matter of fact, they would have called for her to have some legal aid if she was a white girl. Trust me. And the fact that the lack of compassion, concern for a child, that you didn't have any empathy to where you could put yourself in that child's place. Do you think that 15, it's like Tamir Rice, 12 years old, but the white officers stated they thought he was 23. Come on, it's a child. Do those officers, that they feel as though this life didn't matter? This is a black life, 15, 20, 30, it don't matter. We get a conviction rate, and we move it on past the buck. Hey, more than likely parents don't have the money for a top-notch attorney. We home scot-free. This happened in 1996 when she was 15. It's 2019 and Jennifer Jeffley is still behind bars for a crime that she didn't commit. Now, all my aspiring attorneys, soon to be lawyers, you know as good as anybody else, you cannot bring a minor in and interrogate them as if they were an adult. To cover that fact up, the judge had to charge her as an adult to erase the fact that they interrogated her when she wasn't an adult. I mean, this was a modern day lynching of a female. Now, everybody knows, look, you are a piss poor, sad individual if you can't manipulate the mind of a 15-year-old and you 24 years old, and I'm speaking of Eva Moondragon or Mundragon, however you pronounce it. At 24, I would run. Why do you think that 18 and older messes with a minor, a child, a male, messes with a minor female? That's statutory rape, because the female is not developed yet. The brain is not even through developing at that age. That's common sense. That presents that we're living in a scary world for black people. Black people are vulnerable. They have no protection. They have no security. They have no justice that will fight for them in seeking justice. Let's say her attorney, court appointed. I mean, he had, whether if he was instructed not to speak to the family, they didn't meet him to the day of the case, the trial, in court, the first time they met. He wouldn't return a phone call. They didn't have a strategy. He didn't know the full length of the case. He didn't even look into her eyes. He didn't look into his client's eyes to see the person, the soul of the person. He showed up, wasn't even prepared, and presented that sad case in front of a judge, and the judge didn't rebuke him for that. What the hell is going on in society? You mean to tell me her mother, working at the time, putting taxes into this system, and can't get justice? You know, all to 1996, all to catch young black people in a wave of a pipeline straight to prison to do labor. It's a sad day in America where a female age 15 in the year 1996 can still be behind bars based on the evidence and the lack of evidence. And she stated, and this is Jennifer Jeffley, I didn't have no blood, no DNA at the scene. The crime lab comes back, unknown DNA at the scene. You know why the DNA was unknown? Because it wasn't Jennifer Jeffley's DNA. Simple. And so where is my, what is that, First Step Act that was just passed? Where is the pardon process? Where are the cries? Meaning, if we let in this type of injustice continue to show its face, and we do nothing as beings, I'm talking human beings, I'm talking across race lines, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, New Zealand, and Hawaiian, I don't care what your nationality is. That means that our whole existence as human beings is fraud. We're just fraud entities on this planet, and we're cowards, and we would not stand for what's right. This surpasses universal law. This is a grave injustice dealt to a female who, I mean, when she said that she haven't even went on a date, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, that it doesn't make any sense. It upsets me. It's hard to watch the Crime Watch episode that they did on Jennifer Jeffley, but go back and watch and get the details. And check it out, you know. Also, I had the pleasure of interviewing Jennifer Jeffley's mom and her sister Karen. You can watch that on Everyday People, the movie part one. The first one I did, that interview is in that. It's on YouTube. Check it out. I mean, look at the love that the family, that bond that they share between each other. The fight. I mean, they still fighting for their sister till most parents would be like, most families would be like, they wouldn't even care. Let the nigga right in jail. They wouldn't even try to put in the work and the time and the effort. They fighting till this day because in their heart, they know she's innocent. And in Jennifer Jeffley's heart, she knows she's innocent. They wrote, look, the detectives typed up the statement after 9 hours of interrogating the 15-year-old who by that time I know she's hungry, know she's scared, she's getting sleepy, she want to go home. It's like if you were in wartime and you were a prisoner of war and you've been tortured for over amount of time. After a while, the mind breaks, the body breaks, the spirit breaks, and they tell you, okay, we'll let you go home. Just sign right here. You like, man, where? I'm beat. I'm 15. I'm whooped. I can't go no more. And so and that's the only thing that convicted her was what she signed that the detectives wrote out themselves. If this is not a grave injustice, and where are all just on the merits of the case, where are all the activists in Houston, and I'm talking about black, white, screaming like this cannot be? Because if we let this go on in Houston, this is a blight on the city of Houston, and it says Houston is a savage city across all racial lines. Everybody's savage. To let a 15-year-old do time without being questioned. Look, her interview that they did wasn't even audio videotaped. Look. If you are a detective and there's no legal counsel or guardian present, you tape the conversation, you video the conversation, just to make sure that you're fair, that you can show, no, this is what it was, we didn't do anything underhanded, we're not trying to hide anything. That's the reason why. Now, if you don't video or audio tape the confession, then that means that you got something to hide. That means that you in here being you're not interrogating, you torturing. That was torture. Okay, sleep deprivation, 1. Okay, now we finna hit you with the mind games, 2. They working tactics on a 15-year-old girl. That's like saying, give me a name. Who's young right now? Let's say I don't watch too many shows now, but let's just say that's like Mike Tyson fighting Urkel. That's like Mike and Mike Tyson swinging hard as he can. I mean, he's doing the bob and weave. He's a technician in the court, and it's like, man, you fighting Urkel. That's compared to these detectives leaning in on a 15-year-old girl, giving her all that they have to give, going in on her like, we finna destroy you, and she like, what the hell? I'm still learning U.S. history. Yeah, we finna give you a taste of U.S. history on how we deal with racism and white supremacy in Texas. We gonna give you some U.S. history. We gonna be racist against you. We gonna show you how we feel about black people in Houston. We gonna take it out on a 15-year-old girl. And matter of fact, to show you how ruthless and cruel we are, we're going to keep you in there, and it's 2019, and you've been in there since 1996, over 2 decades. And we're not going to show you any mercy. We're going to stand by the lies that was told. We're not going to stand by the truth. We'll deal with the lies and what we believe and what we say, because we are the judge and the jury in the eyes of black humanity. The white man is the judge and the jury. That's what you're sending out. That's the sentiment you're sending out to the public. So I hope every praying person, Muslim, Jew, Christian, Hebrew Israelite, any spiritual entity or person, you all pray that her release is coming very soon, and we can right this wrong and heal this city, because whether you know it or not, these cases, the whisperers are starting to get loud. People are like, yeah, it is not, this doesn't make any sense at all. You know, this should not be. It's in the air. It's in the air. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.